we're going the distance to see who makes it to winners round 2 and who will be fighting for their life coming up in a year in the playoff bracket. I mean, Athena, we've seen both these teams hit the ground running once they've got their finger on the pulse. And like the desk said, Abyss is where both these teams really start to feel themselves. So, I mean, how much does confidence, play as a factor into a game like this, especially when so many of these guys have been playing with and against each other for so long?
I mean, it's definitely a huge factor, right? Like, you're coming off of a map win that was super dominant for Shopify, but you also have NRG Academy, who was super confident in that first game, brought it completely back, flipped it on its head, and took it away from them. So for both teams being confident on a map like this being their playground, their home ground, it should really be super explosive, even more explosive than we've seen in the past 2 maps. Because again, both these teams love to play off of that momentum, love to play off of that kind of aggression and the confidence. And it's something that we're kind of seeing separate the two, from EG having a little bit more utility on their side, and for Shopify holding W, really getting those trades on lock. But I think with these new comps, we're going to see a little bit of slower play from both these teams. And again, whoever wins qualifies themselves to the semifinals, and it's such a big deal on the line. And so this pistol to start us off is super important.
Shopify's defensive half on Abyss was one of the best they've had as of late. Playing up against hyper-aggressive Pigeons, they cradled a lot of that initial damage, so the frontliners didn't end up doing a lot of the fragging, and from there they were able to work it into a pretty clean defense. EG, much different composition, much more able to kind of play static when need be, and those lurkers will always be lurking. As Mitchell makes his way up mid, so far uncontested, but that's about to change. Xander the first meet, the first blow. First blood for Shopify. Now able to fully pinch on top of this B site that Pancakes has not stuck the plant on until now. Stunna taking that first hit. Once again, well swung and adjusted by Xander. And Shopify reducing these fights one at a time. Nobody getting to be able to link to one another. Jake, the only guy able to get advantage onto more than one player at a time, and that is surgical from Shopify on the first take back.
Definitely seeing the momentum from that last game play into this, because first of all, the shots are on point. The trades, the 1v1s really set up Shopify Rebellion for success, but also just being able to read the map, getting that first pick, completely shutting down EG's mid round and trying to get kind of a lurk through all the way through that mid, just really solidified it for them. And now both these teams looking to get kind of grasping at these straws, because Shopify, this is their 100% win rate in Challengers map. This is their bread and butter. But for EG, it is also their bread and butter. So they're really going to prove themselves on how they're going to play it out. An immediate aggression from Ion to demolish Pancakes and punish any aggression from EG.
That's the Pancakes trademark, stepping out into the sunlight with that Headhunter, just seeing if he can spot anything while on the eco. And a lot of the time he can. This time not the case. Tejo here for Shopify. Satellite unable to flash himself in, as he's been able to do the previous 2 maps. So we'll see him probably, honestly, if anything, play very similar to how Mitch did last map, but probably come up with a lot more efficiency out of it because of just how expansive Abyss is. Make one option such a big turnoff a lot more quickly.
Enemy tag.
Very minimal util needed to silence a lot of these startups. But Stun has made it in. Yeah, Exa just relying on nature to deal with that. He will. And another follow-up round that looks to be pretty cut and dry. Shopify very comfortable with waiting until the very last moment to take that last chunk of the B site. And yet again, Jake stands alone. Does have this outlaw. Hang on a minute. Maybe get another freebie down now. He'll just run away with that gun that will probably prove quite important in the bonus.
Yeah, that kind of ruined the bonus for Shopify. Either they go all out, buy some rifles to make up for it, or they just stick to getting those pistols. Naturally, they can't really afford anything crazy, so trying to play that bonus just up close and personal, trying to push. Maybe gonna see a little bit more aggression from Shopify. And oh my god, jump scare.
Yes, I love it, Prod.
Me when I'm Waylay cosplaying IRL.
And they've taken notes from Liga Ace Prod. They're like, this is how they like their cameras? Cool.
Shopify not looking to go anything crazy, just kind of holding back, trying to punish any of these picks. The double initiator comp from EG with Pancakes kind of enables them to get a lot of those first picks, and Shopify, they're not going to play into that. And it works out pretty well for them because Pancakes is here trying to prey on that A main again, trying to get a free pick off of that drone. But a lot of util to punish and push them off to make sure they don't get in.
Door's been broken on mid, and they're going to flash their way in through heaven to go for this pinch. Ion's able to manage A main, though, and that's where the spike is landed. Okay, Xander, look out, buddy. Slowed down by that saturate, making it a little more difficult for him to manage, but Ion, on the other side of that, is going to be the 3K'ing, waylaying, demon-slaying king that will net Shopify their third round of the game here. And, yeah, I mean, resource management-wise, if the guns are down, it seems like Shopify can carry themselves off of purely confidence alone just because EG knows they have to spread their through line so thin. And again, that's really what it feels like EG is going for. They're trying to set up the whole round from the beginning of it. There's not really a lot of room for improvisation so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting too, because we've seen Mitch have a lot of those really good mid-round calls where they get the space and change up the plans, but for this Abyss, it looks like they're pretty static. I completely agree. But now we're looking for a mid default, which is new from both of these teams. Lots of mid control coming out from both sides. Both teams with rifles in their hands, trying to get...
Oh, you've got to be kidding me, Ion.
That's... Yeah. No, that's part of the strat. No, it's part of the strat. Because now they're down numbers, so they're not going to expect... like...
Right, now EG thinks they don't have to pressure mid, so Shopify can put everything everywhere.
So they can fall back and then, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, see, X has got his. Now you rush in. You find out X is there. We already knew that.
Toxin screen down.
Screen down. Free pot shots. EG, again, don't have a great vantage. X is firing for free. Okay. Eventually taken down, but we still haven't made any space, and there's 35 seconds to go. 3v3. Trying to find a way to enable Pancakes on this operator now that your sand smokes. Sander still on the way back. Oh, tough swing, Nature. He's not holding the walk-up angle. And the double salvo is going to make it so EG are actually kind of in panic mode for only a moment here. They'll separate into the 2-1. Once again, have Jake play for the flank watch to start. Now watch back onto Heaven. Justice Satellite gets that Heaven approach, and he was alone. Sander still on the way back over. So this is the round that EG will make work, and it looks like they'll hold on to the important guns that they need to. Still a question of how they can fully establish themselves this round, because preferably Ion's not going to be dying for no reason every round. So a little more of an uphill battle from here, for sure.
Yeah, I think for Shopify, other than Ion just yeeting himself off the map, I think they need to be a little bit more patient. Nature trying to play on site to get the picks, to try to equalize those numbers. But peeking when you have Satellite on the Tejo right next to you, ready to throw some sort of util to help you out. Exa, he did such a good job at holding it down, but the rush into the retakes kind of looked scary. And I see what happened. Yeah. No, that he was trying to do the Mata, the hang off.
I get what he's trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, he tried. But I mean, both teams here, Astrowall ready to go. Maybe looking to fight for this A site for Shopify Rebellion, because they are on that thrifty, trying to get really close. I mean, Ion, he's done it before with that shotgun. Can he do it again? It seems like EG keep playing towards this A main. Maybe not might be the best idea.
Wow, swing in when you know Ion's been holding that so close and they're not going to be able to finalize. The recon bolt catches a lot, but again, what can you do besides maybe toss a molly in the back and then try to approach them there? But there's just no decent window of time to do it. EG can finalize the health pool of Ion, but nothing more than that. No space gained, no intel managed beyond just there's more people here that we need to worry about. Pancakes has managed to take that high ground and turn it into one more, but even so, up against that Stonewall. Gotta wait for the smokes to get set back up. And Jake will finally be able to do that. Cosmic Divide might be your only ticket in now. 40 seconds to go.
Nowhere to run.
It's the Hunter's Fury instead. Satellite now with the shotgun. Does he get a second? No, Pancake's watching, thank goodness. But the smoke still stands ISO'd. Exa picking up the Stinger instead to try to make it a little easier for himself, but steps into that open space. Orb fades away, and Pancakes will net a third with that operator and keep it standing to get EG back on the board with a decent bit of attitude and ults behind it now.
Yeah, EG, they're really liking this A main control, and I think it's something that Shopify is going to pick up on because they've been kind of trying to abuse it. Ion getting shotgun kills multiple times this half already. Trying to put a stop to it, but looked like it was really good for their Thrifty. Does not matter though. Ion with the op, he is going to try to punish towards that mid, and we're seeing that A main control again from EG, but the only difference is Pancakes is actually opping towards B, holding that line, trying to see if off of that A main pressure, anyone's going to aggress and walk into his op, but full execute coming in for the bridge plant for EG.
Quick flash into the run-up. Stunna saturated by the looks of it here, and the gravity well on top of the spike plant. Okay, Zarona, calm down. Flash in, 4-stack walking. Yeah, they want to win the fight before they win the space. By the looks of it, the Cosmic Divide's going to fade before EG can finalize the plan on the site, and Shopify still getting kills on top of it by making the space themselves. Stunna no longer an option to be able to pierce through, and EG's got to back away. They've got to settle on the B side by the looks of it, as Mitch is going to try to keep as many people here as possible. He'll do a decent job at it, but he's already gone. But Pancakes has made his way through the B site, cleared every inch of it. EG can go for a full-fledged bum rush. If Exa doesn't have anything to say about this, he might make it back in time on this flank, though, and nobody's watching. Jakey turns to it. We got a 3v4 on our hands, and Shopify's on the rush back, but they'll be a little late.
Teleport's ready.
Oh, Pancakes watching the link. Ops back up in time for round 2. And they've got to just fire it dry. Pancakes, Hunter whipped out again, going for it all. But it's flushed away, silenced. Rush up by Ion on top of the slow. Gets down Zarona, and the stun onto Jake as well. Forces him back beyond the CD that's set up defensively. And now you can smoke yourself off. Xander orchestrating this entire counter push. And Jake up against so much at once, almost transfers to Xander. But a 4K with 7 HP to go keeps Shopify on top.
That was an insane round. If you look at all the macros that happened that round, it was crazy. EG trying to get onto that A site, trying to get that spike down with the Astral Wall, planning for bridge, but SRB using a shock darts to deny that plant for so long, allowing so many rotates. Mitch, he overstayed his welcome a little bit, but Pancakes the whole time was walking up towards B, taking as much space as possible. I think he was planning to actually flank on that post plant, but he ended up just holding it down and letting his team rotate in to get the execute down. And obviously Shopify, really good retake. Ion abusing that waylay double dash to just pull crosshairs, confuse the enemy team, and allow them to get that diffuse. Xander, of course, with those kills, really phenomenal, and it's looking like a super fast B hit from EG.
Yeah, EG, they want to turn it up even more, especially with the help of this conversion pass. They feel like everyone has easy access on, but Ion with this operator shuts down Stunna quick. Everyone else from EG has to try to feast on what's left. And all the while, this pit is up and running, so Nature can play the flank around it. Mitch just trying to dance, and he's almost managed the timing. Yes, he has, but Exa steps out, counter frags, keeps the pit going. Lets Shopify have pretty easy access back in for this retake again, which is all they've really needed to make these rounds quite easy for themselves. It's all about where EG decides to stick up on top. Pit dissipates. Jake, timing! Gone! Exa has looped all the way around behind! And Pancakes' TDF is nothing in the face of this fully thought out defusal. Sure, he'll get the kills, he always does, but Shopify has the round, as they've always done so far this map. 5-2 now, and these retakes continue to look commanding.
These rounds back-to-back are kind of insane. I mean, EG getting the spike down when 2 players are still alive on site by itself is wild. But Exa doing such a good job playing around that Viper's pit with Xander. I mean, he even called that he was going to put the pit down, take that space, kind of lurking out of your own Viper's pit ult. really well played by Shopify Rebellion on site. Exa has really been putting in the work to hold it down on this B site too. Feels like every time anyone goes there, he gets 1 or 2 kills, enough to just delay long enough for the rest of his team to come in. But of course, for EG, taking this time out, trying to figure out a new route for the cause of what is going on. It feels like their aiming control kind of working out, kind of not. That execute, they got delayed for so long, decided to fall back, but again, just losing out on those post-plant situations. I would love to see a little bit more aggression on their post-plants from EG, taking as much space as possible, because it really sucks for Stunna too, trying to get into that site, kind of getting punished, and no one being able to take as much space as they can, because obviously your duelist is just kind of getting shut down. So overall for EG, they need a little bit of a new game plan, and it's looking like it's going to steer them towards mid, which makes sense considering both these teams have had a little bit of a weaker mid, but every time after this timeout, it seems like both teams want to fight mid. And it makes sense because EG, they're kind of scrambling to find the hole in Shopify's defense.
Yeah, the best place to get that first bit of chip away for both sides to potentially find an in, despite kind of looking around. But with Pancakes on this lurk conditioning, they know that they can at least send him a little farther up, but as soon as he looks in, he's taken down. Ion again, and he's spun back onto Heaven to take kill number 2. Now watching back onto the mid lurk, which Jake has gotta excavate as there's a 2-stack wandering towards him, and they mow him down as well. Nothing on this eco working for EGA. X has made it back to default again. He's gonna get one too. Everybody's getting the only action here.
Yeah, Exa just making B his playground, honestly. Just walking up, knowing that they tend to gravitate towards walking through that Viper wall. Just working out for him almost every single time. But this is the round where EG need to finally turn it back around. They have full rifles. Both teams looking for their gun round. Ion, he does have the op and they know it. And they have a lot of that util to kind of push it back. The KO knife and the flash, the Sova drone and the dart. It's just a matter of if they can gamble right. And it's looking like they're going to go towards B again, which is kind of questionable seeing as how Exa has been really good at holding this down. I just hope they can kind of figure out their pathing and make sure they clear that site before they even try getting that bomb down.
Yeah, you've got to make something certain here. On a map like Abyss, it's like you need a guarantee of some level. There is one! Stunna, spear tip, finally lands the sharp part. And everyone's on for the party to begin. Nature, with that vantage, can at least grab one on the way down. But SRB, for once, are going to be slow to come back to this. Ion, watching from A Hall. Is the full-on flank expected? Seems like it is. Mitch, yeah, watching both channels of entry. As Arona manning down security for that first bit of entry, Pancakes holds it down, and at that point, yeah, Ion's made the decision. Eco is still too unstable, and at that very moment, Mitch will attempt the swing, manage it, give Evil Genius's Academy their 3rd round. And I mean, that was everything going right. You know, that was Stunna getting that opening kill. That was EG following up immediately after. That was Shopify not having the proper distribution because of that. That's exactly what you want to see.
I feel like this is
nice flash by Corona too.
Yeah, that was sick. I feel like this could be the turnaround round for EG because that execute was perfect. A lot of the util sent actually supported Stunna, so he wasn't just flying in, pulling crosshairs with no one to follow up. The flash was beautiful. The Sova dart came in just at the right time, enough to distract that site player so that Stunna could get that entry pick. And finally, Exa is shut down on that B site. That was kind of the util that I'm looking for from EG. And a KO to kind of sell this B hit, but 3 players are towards mid, and Ion instantly shuts down the KO.
And now Nature can make sure that no one else is creeping up on that stack, so he'll just launch the Hunter's Fury right into mid. Everything else has been given away, and Ion is ready with this operator. God, Shopify are just so on top of this, man. 2 ultis into absolutely nothing. Nature's got 2 with the stinger. It's getting a little stupid here, y'all. This defense is looking so nice from Shopify. It's flawless in round 10. Still 3 ults on the table.
Yeah, for EG, I understand the call. you know, selling that EG execute because it just worked last round. But they didn't calculate for Ion on the op holding down that B site. And of course, Nature, really good read with that ult too. He saw that no one was actually B main. He was like, wait a minute, they're all somewhere else. Getting that ult down towards that mid, getting all the information they needed. Really well played by Shopify. The call makes sense for EG, but the execution just was not there. And now they're going to fall back to this A main default. They're trying to find out where Ion is with that op, slowly taking their time, flashing into A main. A little bit of a rough buy, but man, this defense for Shopify is looking impeccable.
Very fine-tuned, reflexive, dynamic. Everything that you're begging Evil Geniuses Academy to be able to do with these executes. With the Waylay KO combo that you have, that B site should have been torn to shreds by now, but Shopify can still lean back on it if need be. Evil Geniuses, I mean, they might just take another crack at it. I'd sell A here with the noise. Oh, Stun is already 1 HP. Just keep on spraying.
But look at Exa, he hasn't moved.
Oh, Pancakes! Dry walk and a frag. It's open season on B site. That call's been confirmed to be vacant as well. So EG, yeah, boastfully just run up here. And Pancakes hasn't had a lot of opportunities to head into this library, but in he goes here. How many does he get this time? Ion now off the operator, handing it to Satellite. Yeah, that convergent pass does not catch what's right in front of you. Pancakes and Jake can manage it all. And that's all you really need, right? The space, the guarantee, the impact is there. It's standing right in front of EGA, but the opportunities are already dwindling.
That round played out beautifully for them in terms of the fake, really selling it. They know that Shopify likes to have that fast rotate, and Pancakes actually was the star of this round. Getting that pick on Exa was so important, especially because they used those 3 ults on that retake as well. So they've burnt their winning conditions for this last round of the half. That was very, very well played by EG, reading that the fakes are going to work out in their favor and knowing that Exa is the only player that does not move. I thought it might go towards Shopify because Exa's been so good at holding down this B side, but they finally figured out how to abuse them. But look, they're pushed all the way up. Shopify, Jake has no idea.
Yeah, definitely not ready for this. Already doing a lot of post-dismissal. A little time to adjust, but not enough time to recollect. That is your smoker down, and as Xander's already proven, having your Astra up as long as possible during these rounds is just so crucial to maintaining that impact. Xander's gonna keep on kicking a little longer after winning that first duel against Stunna. Zorona has managed to carve his way into heaven, and Xander is stuck now after Mitch is able to stand on the spike. Those remaining defenders for the first leg isolated and taken care of. Now comes the 3v3 for the retake, with pretty limited time to do so as well. Shopify, tough to make this an 8-4 at this point, but they're going to try and make that work. Ion with the rush down. Soon to follow is the rest of the stack. Almost trying to get that pit started, but EG has already infiltrated and conquered. Really was who gets to the starting line first for this half, and EGA is able to somehow make it 5-7.
That was a really nice change of pace for EG towards the end of that half. They brought it back. It looked a little bit really, really rough for them, but this was beautiful, playing on site together, keeping a lot of that aggressive mass space on site for their post plan versus just giving it up, falling back and losing those numbers. Super well played. And I love that they adapted by setting up Pancakes on the lurk a lot more than usual and actually calling around that. Mitch again, coming back with these mid-round calls, abusing that and actually bringing it back a little bit. That was really well played. It looked a little doomed from the start, but I mean, now for EG, the real test of time is winning this pistol, because then they can equalize instantly, and Stunna's here aggressively holding A main.
Yeah, this is your ticket to even footing, and it's all about finding the certainty first. First blood, one of the biggest ones, especially here in the pistol. A lot of util dumping to start things out. Toxic Screen teased here on A main, but Shopify Rebellion Black will turn tail. Here comes the Pancakes lurk. Let's see what he gets. He's going wide. He's going purely for steps. Anybody dare to walk through mid here? Oh, it's everybody. And Ion, oh, at the gate. Bye-bye.
Bro is just so aware.
Shopify's got their pick of the litter here. 60 seconds and all the territory in the world to explore. Just no more than kind of just walking through it in order to actually take it over. So still going to try and stay calculated and see if anybody else from EGA chomps at the bit, gives themselves away and turns it into a 5v3 instead. They got they got so much time to do it.
Xander just trying to bait any of that noise, bait any of that information. But they don't know that all of EG is kind of stacked here, except for Jake. They're going to head towards that A site, which honestly, with the amount of util that they still have those salvos. They still have the dart. Might work out for them as long as they just fight together. But Mitch ready with that dart, ready to delay.
Flushed away. The entry is so good. Stunna the only one who has a disadvantage, and he's able to net too, granted. But it's still just far too much in your face. Shopify Rebellion have a commanding 3-1 here in the pistol. Jake coming back from that B site where he wasn't even able to kind of get intel for the sell. It was just Shopify having a blasphemous amount to throw at the problem here. No stars available for Jake now to try to play time or stall with this spike in hand. So he's got to go for the fights, and what do you know? It's Ion that lands that frag too. Picking up an 8th now for Shopify. Huge pistol for this match at this point.
Really big, pulling out ahead. This is what Shopify wants, but EG, this is the opposite of what they need. They've really needed that round. And honestly, I'm not going to take it away from them. We've seen so many thrifties being won so far this series that I wouldn't be surprised if they have a solid game plan. Obviously, Pancakes, he's been a little bit of a star on these thrifties with that Chamber Sheriff, but looks like for Shopify, they're going to stick to what they know, stay in group, taking it a little bit quick, and not afraid to use the util. Ion getting that first pick on Pancakes. And here we go. Round has begun.
Oh, just dangling keys over Pancakes' little head. They know exactly how he reacts. I mean, that's exactly how he plays, too. He's so Pavlovian. Yeah, rest of that, let's get this out of the way. Give the round to Shopify Rebellion after an opener like that. I would want to get the round over with, too.
Yeah, your plans are just completely put in a dead stop at that point. If Pancake's dead, guys, we're not winning the thrifty. Let it go.
I mean, that was... You dragged his sightline right into Ion's crosshair. That was disgusting. And he's top fragging after jumping off the map once, by the way. So I just, wildly impressive skills coming from him. A lot of it on this perma sniper, but he's felt comfortable just kind of being a part of the pack and being that guy that is the first guy that takes a swing. Spraying through the smokes. Hey, Mitch has been learning some good impact damage to start out, but Shopify's quick to the pinch on A.
Spike planted.
Re-entry back out into mid here for Satellite. A lot of double checking going on, except for where Pancakes is planted. God, he's just gonna lurk whether you like it or not. Keeps getting away with it until Satellite turns back and deals with it. So the retake is less powerful, but much more present early on here. So these stars are gonna go pretty quick. First one that well, just gonna waste some time. Now the drone in. You have so much util for the post plan. It's ridiculous, man. And the bullets are just gonna keep on flying into that one location. Just one more to deal with. And he's stunned. Shopify just flooding to make it 10-5.
Getting tired is optional.
Winning that bonus is crazy. I think for EG, man, this is looking dire because again, with this comp, when you have the Tejo, when you have the Sova, the Snake Bite, and the Astrosuck, you do not want to let them fall back into those post plants. And that round, EG just needed to react a little bit quicker, flooding into the site a little bit faster, or at least delaying that spike plant just a tiny bit more. They were so focused on mid. Pancakes obviously getting one, but it just wasn't enough. Having those numbers is okay, but you cannot let them fall into their post plant because the amount of delay they have on that diffuse, the amount of util they have, as well as kind of taking that space back with the dart, with the drone, or whatever it is that they have left, it's almost near impossible. And for EG now, they're really, really scrambling. This is looking tough. They're in such a tough spot. They're only close to the Waylay ult. Nothing crazy that they can do. Maybe farm orbs. But even with that, they need to be just a tiny bit more aggressive. Get that information a tiny bit faster. See where they're actually trying to end. and being able to brawl and contest so that they don't get as much space. And of course, the goal is to kind of get Pancakes on that operator, but with their economy being so bad, constantly losing those rounds, it's really, really hard for Shopify. They're just playing this map to a T. I mean, it feels like they're really confident. I don't know if it's only just momentum from the last game, but also they've won this map almost every single time they've played it in Challengers. Or sorry, they have won this map every single time they've played it in Challengers. So definitely a rough one for EG to come back on.
Is it another streak-ridden second half that will get Shopify to their victory here against EG Academy in the rematch?
Need that back.
As you said, nobody really able to get the ball rolling so far for EGA. Not Pancakes with this operator, not Jake with the smoke cycling. Not even Mitch really with the orchestrating of the retake calling, just because Shopify is so fast and so on your face if you're right in front of them, and this time you certainly are. Stunna getting hit with that light speed, still has a little bit of time to grab some chip damage, but no more. But the first intercept is there. Pancakes can take down the first body. Ion not able to skirt through absolutely everything. And the double swing through mid will catch that first bit of rotation from Exa, who was on his lonesome. Now the walk-up. Mitch, read like a book. Satellite very much ready for it as he escorts the remaining two rotating all the way over to A site. But now, Jake sits here ready to go on top of his star. The Nova Pulse, interesting option, but it's exactly what he needs to net the kill onto Nature. Xander not able to refrag either! And now the puppy guard on that spike may have just been the saving grace to get EG Academy their first round of the half. Grabwell, a little late to it, but Jake can just watch. 12 seconds to go and 3 bodies to take care of. No way all of them are gonna show themselves. His Satellite has gotta go through this piece by piece, and the fragment on the only remaining place he could plant. It's gonna be 4 bodies that Satellite has to settle for as EG is on the board in their defense.
You know what, EG, it's my bad. I shouldn't have doubted you. I forgot about your thrifties. We should study them in class from now on. Because that was kind of wild. I mean, I thought it was going to all fall apart when Mitch kind of overstayed his welcome again towards mid, getting picked off. But it doesn't matter because the GOAT Pancakes is alive. And Jake delayed for so long on site using that Astro Wall. Sorry, the Astro Suck and the Astro Gravity Well really, really well to delay. That was kind of crazy, but that does mean Pancakes is now enabled. He has an operator in his hands, finally, and they're opting to fight towards that mid, which might just end up in a little bit of a brawl, and a really good block, actually, on that Viper pit, Viper orb.
Yeah, about time you started doing that when nobody's poking their heads out until after this Teo drone goes. A lot of just reactive smoking, Pancakes,
wow.
Watched by Ion. That's your op gone. Tough place to reach it, too. Like, Jake really doesn't want to leave his position right now because Shopify hasn't given away where they're rotating.
Dude, every time it feels like EG has the answer, Ion just denies it every time.
Yep. Footholds keep on slipping, and now Ion's gonna take that inch, turn it into a mile, saturate for Saturite. He's thrown out the link, but Stunna holding close to it, can swing for both. Rest of Shopify's got to brawl close, and Satellite's able to net one with the spray. And Exa holding the flank watch. Mitch yet again unable to make work out of this position. Will get substituted. Now there's 2 watching it.
There.
Twisting the knife into the options that EG thinks they can keep re-upping on. And Stunna, another beyond ballsy ultimate in a 1v3. But this time, EG is way too far down for us to simply chuckle at it. Now I'm genuinely concerned.
I really don't like that Stunna uses out there. I mean, saving that for maybe even a Thrifty, knowing that, hey, potentially we've won Thrifties before. Maybe we can convert this one again, and making that your winning condition is super important. But man, wasting it that last second was crazy. But EG, I would love to see them grouping way more on these retakes. Mitch trying to flank there, getting caught off guard again and again now. That's 3 rounds in a row that he's kind of overstayed his welcome or gotten caught off guard. It's just not looking too hot. A full execute coming in from Shopify. They don't want to lose this Thrifty again.
Yeah, make it full blown. Don't give them another second to think here. Ion has double saturated, but they've also sandwiched, so X is able to grab a quick double kill out of it, make it 3. And I mean, now that you've already made sure that this is that guarantee, let's get an ace going, huh, people? Come on. X is on the road.
Yeah, what if Pancakes just ults right now and aces? Thoughts?
Nothing out of the question with a game like this. Open check. Oh, we've missed our first shot, but it's okay. We have a couple more. We're chilling. 6 rounds of match point for Shopify Rebellion Black to work with. Will it be a third straight game where the back half only boasts 1 round for the opposition? Evil Geniuses Academy have ults, have guns. Surely they have a game plan, right? But what do they do?
It's looking almost near impossible, but obviously popping this chamber out, trying to get some sort of aggression, some sort of super fast information, as well as this mid fight might mean their super quick rotates towards this B, because Shopify, they know that exploiting the fast takes that they have on B is going to be working for them. It's looking like they're going to set up for that again. The drone coming in, the setup. Jake, he's alone on site and he's getting ulted immediately.
Oh, still gets one on the way back down, though. Insane patience coming from him, letting the rest of EG kind of fly on with some extra help. Hunter's Fury from nature just to try to cut through the crowd, but he's not able to fully track down Zerona's body, so will only chip for half. Oh, on 2 bodies, though. He's actually able to catch Stunna, too. So 2 members low, so Shopify can keep placing that pressure on this site. EG field pressured not to necessarily move. And a minute 5 to go means Shopify still have options for rotation on top of this spike, so Xander's going to keep browsing.
The mid-round getting a little shaky here for Shopify. They're down numbers. They need to find a pick. But EG playing this super smart, knowing that they cannot give up their numbers advantage right now. Mitch holding on to his Sova ult as well. Gonna help them within this next round. And mid, Zerona, is he able to fight this?
Oh, the high-low swing, only good for the 1.
Nice and slow now.
Shopify still down personnel,
30
but even
seconds
footing
left.
on the B swings. Stunna tucked. Mitch default. A war on 2 fronts. Saturite, preliminary, Ion spots it, gets refragged. Mitch can't manage both. And Xander's on 7 HP in the 1v1. Enough time to plant, and Pancakes is not early enough.
Spike planted.
Xander has the Cosmic Divide if he really wants to make this work here and now. The Nova Pulse instead, but Pancakes is just gonna use that 1 shot on the shorty to guarantee. It ain't over yet, and EG still has the CD, still has the Hunter's Fury, still has the TDF, has the null command next round. Doesn't necessarily have the strongest economy yet, but 1 more round in the streak can pick that up. And shoot, the trend's already done. EG's picked up 2 in the back half, so why don't we change the narrative a little more?
Yeah, curse is broken, right? They can kind of go with it.
Right?
Yeah, they doubled their, yeah, that's fine. They doubled their rounds. It's GG for EG. They're going to come back. It's going to be overtime. It's actually so Jover. But in all reality now, Shopify, their fast speed did not work that round. So they've changed it up back to just kind of having 2-2-1 default, trying to poke and prod, see what they can get. They really don't want to give Pancakes this off pick. And what a crazy kind of aggression to see those 2 players towards B. But Shopify, that's not going to phase them at all going towards mid.
I don't think they've cared if they're seen in those spots this early on.
Yeah.
And now Stunna doesn't have a light speed or a refract to retake, so Shopify probably feel pretty comfortable once they've got a 5-stack ready to go and just, I mean, they could just util dump. Knife gone too, just make sure no one's cracked. Yeah, Shopify have already conditioned that they could have, you know, lurked up anywhere up into that B main smoke, anywhere up into secret, anywhere up into the books on mid. It's small bits of space, but it's space that has to be paid attention to. So you'll see Mitch take that very far back rotation just in case they've got to cradle a little extra. Jake's been Nova pulsing a lot on these entries. I'm wondering what he's going to do because it's been a good way to throw them off. Yeah, gotta just
30 seconds
hope that someone can manage Ion. Jake stays tucked. Oh, and the pit's gonna get activated. Jake has the perfect counteraction to this as Mitch uses the Hunter's Fury. That's actually gonna be the thing to catch Exa. Ion still ignored, and Satellite on the way back in eventually have enough pieces to make A site work, but it's just 2 left after Xander falls. No command back out as Ion creeps up. Gets Zerona down immediately! They can get that res, but Ion's gonna keep applying that pressure, keep on wasting that time as the 3-stack becomes up again. Oh, but Satellite all the while has been getting that rotation. Will try to go for it, but EG will win out. Love the plan, love the proactivity from Shopify, but EG will once again survive.
EG getting so good at playing those close angles, just being really annoying on A, actually. Jake, he's done a tremendous job at holding down this site, or at least guaranteeing himself 1 or 2 kills almost every time that they execute. That was super important, again, because now, if you look at the side of Shopify, they only have these rifles, and if they lose one more round, they're going to be forced onto another Thrifty.
Yeah.
So, super important round for them to win here. This round specifically will kind of guarantee them at least another 2 rounds to come back into this game and slowly bring those rounds together. But, I mean, while we're in this pause, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Shopify, they have so much ability to get on these executes, but they're just not clearing corners properly or being confident enough in having that spacing to kind of trade each other in these executes, which is kind of a shame because when we saw them hit B, it was really, really clean. Very nice, very well set up. A lot of those kind of takes and the utility set up to deny any space on that site, but maybe they might be a little bit too more reliant on that utility and kind of ignoring the spacing issues that are happening for them going towards A. They really should know that Jake has been playing close like almost every round at this point.
Yeah, they got to figure that out at some point, right? Surely the tucks will be turned to. With the execute like we just saw last round, it clearly, you know, so much is put on Ion, and trying to set up that pit without checking close just
definitely
feels
scary.
like that. Yeah, one little misstep that can give EG everything, because Mitch is so good at calling on top of mistakes. EG ready to capitalize. 4 rounds strong. Like you said, this one would be the economic toppler. Knife confirms Ion's early position up, so EG can go for a bit of a crunch on top of the hallway. Stunna ready for this waylay ditto whenever it ends up happening, but Ion more than willing to wait this out until the rest of Shopify gets the stack, which it looks like they will early, droning their way into the tunnel on A. And EG, once again, slightly adjust. Stun is going to head back down. The refract ready, and Mitch not checking the hallway where Ion has been sitting this whole time. And now Stun is going to refract right into where Ion's watching. It falls apart in an instant. Oh, but Jakey's still standing inside this smoke. That tuck equalizes again. The plant is delayed. Still a personnel advantage for Shopify Rebellion, and they have almost no util post-plant to be able to hold this down. It's got to be another backyard brawl. Pancakes with the operator in tow, though, with the headhunter, too. Zerona's going to have to do so much opening up, and he only has 1 flash to do it. Here we go. See if they can do it. First tap. Pancakes ready, chasing down a leg. Brings out the headhunter for the second. Zerona pinged out by the recon. He cares not. Satellite perfectly timed. And it really was only a matter of attempts. Shopify Rebellion Black get over the line, dominate in the back halves they need to, and will win out the series.